All right, so let's get these local recordings going. I do have to kill the music for this. So there we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lower bracket final of the all-random, all-bottom Crystal Scar Dominion Fun Club Cup with ESL. And of course, I am your host, Quickshot. I am South African, as you can tell by the incredibly weird accent. And we're going to be looking at the lower bracket final. This is between two Polish sides. The Polish side of Chupacabra is on the left, and the Polish team of PWDT. I have no idea what PWDT stands for, and I apologize to your players, but from now on, you guys are going to be the Polish wet dream team to me. So we can have some fun with that. Let's have a quick look at champions that we've managed to select. Once again, highly aggressive. We've got, for the side of Chupacabra, Prezio is going to be playing Kale. Grzeku 1115, Gratz Eku 1115, GR Zeku 1115, however you want to say it. He's going to be sitting on Malphite. We have Jax being played by Camo. Hezji IPL is being played by Ari. That's right. Ari, the in-game champion, is playing the real-life person of Hezji IPL. That's the way it works. Akali will be handled by Tasak 15. This is an incredibly mobile team. The speed buff from Kale, the ultimate from Malphite, Jax's leap strike, Ari with 3 blinks for her ultimate as well, and Akali's going to be jumping and dashing. Hyper carries are incredibly powerful in this game anyway, and now you're putting them in an all-bottom, all-random, all-mid, all-bottom Dominion craziness. This is going to be over the top. For the side of PWDT, who did just take a loss to Double Trouble, they will be playing with Wanku on Anivia, Marchwalk on Mordekaiser, Jark on Poppy, Dewak on Tristana, and Bravo on Nunu. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Both sides have got some fantastic, fantastic crowd control. Slow from Kale, knock up from Malphite, AoE stun from Jax. Ari's charm is going to be painful. If Ari lands a charm on this map with the short distances that they are here, it's going to be an instant kill. It's just that simple. Combine that now with the opposing side, that Anivia she's got her wall, she's got her stun. Poppy can, push back, knock back. Tristana's got an AoE knockback, or at least, can hit multiple champions. And then, of course, Nunu's ultimate, which is that huge slow. It's going to be very interesting to see how this team plays out, how the composition plays out. I do think Chupacabra have got slightly better synergies. I do think they've got the aggressive lineup that everybody can just jump in there and close the gap, and they all have really high bursts. So if they focus properly, they should be able to take out the carries, take out Tristana, then take out Anivia, etc. On the flip side, you've got Anivia who has rebirth. You need to kill her twice to kill her once. It's sort of a weird way of saying it, but yes. You need to kill her, then you need to kill her egg in order for her to properly go down. Mordekaiser is going to be building tanky DPS. Poppy builds tanky DPS, and she can become invulnerable for 5 or 6 seconds, the duration of her ultimate. She will only take damage from one enemy. So if she throws that onto the likes of a Malphite, Malphite's not going to be able to blow her up. Malphite's not going to be able to take her out for the duration of her ultimate. Combine the Blood Boil with a potentially, free farm Tristana if she's picking up most of the creep score, or, she picks up an Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer, and that's going to be a very powerful Tristana. So I do think that Chupacabra have the slight advantage with regards to this particular game, but it's going to come down to focus. If they don't focus the right champions, it's going to make no difference. They've got some fairly squishy characters. Akali and Ari can be blown up really, really quickly. And looking at Kale as well, he's got that very small invincibility on his ultimate as well. So, yeah, let's just see how the focus goes for Chupacabra. Looking at the skins, once again, we only have the Anivia skin. Tristana skin I'm not allowing because everyone got it for free on Facebook. So, nice try, Dewak, but no, not cool, not going to fly. Let's have a quick look if my bracket has been updated. I believe it should have been. Yes, it has. Thank you to ESL Sledge. You were awesome for helping me out with that little trick. So you'll notice Double Trouble is sitting in the grand final. The winner of PWDT and Chupacabra will have to defeat Double Trouble twice in order to win. If I understand this correctly, and if it is a standard double elim. If I am wrong, somebody in IRC land correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it'll play out. So, for the 20 guys that are here, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for staying with me. I will be uploading the VODs as soon as this final is over. I'll hang around here for an extra half an hour, and make sure they're up tonight. As soon as they're finished rendering on YouTube, you guys should be able to watch them during the course of the evening or tomorrow. Malphite, it looks as though he's using hamsters to power that PC. Gratz Eku, GRZ Eku, that dude on Malphite really needs to upgrade his RAM, I think. So we're just waiting for the characters to load in, waiting for the champions to go in. For the few of you who are listening, and I think most of you are probably either players in the game or waiting for the grand final, who's going to win? I mean, I've never done, this is my third ever spectated game of an all random, all bottom Dominion map. So looking at the champions right now, where's your money? Is it with Chupacabra on top? Will they be able to steal the goats and head back to Mexico and be happy? Or is your money with the Polish wet dream team who will be enjoying their dreams, if you know what I mean? Malphite is still loading in. The game will probably kick us straight to the landing lobby as soon as it's had enough time waiting. And, of course, you've got the minute-and-a-half wait in the beginning anyway before anybody can move. So let's see what happens. For anybody that doesn't know or hasn't heard it already, please follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/quickshot, QU1KSH0T. It's pretty much going to be my primary source of communication with guys. I do have some really cool things coming up in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which I'll be announcing on Facebook. And if you're following me, you may get, heads up to some pretty cool competitions, which I'm not at liberty to say right now. All right, it looks as though everybody's loaded, and it appears as though Riot is just wanting to annoy us all and make us wait even longer. So let's have a look. How do the first purchases go? Chupacabra on the left, wanting to bring back the goats. And of course on the right-hand side, PWDT. Pretty aggressive build so far. We're not seeing the gold per 5s as we noticed from Prodigiously Gaming earlier today. And it looks as though the the prospectors items seem to be pretty well favored at the moment. The way that this is going to play out is fairly simple. We have the quarry down here on the bottom left. And strangely enough, Malphite is on the team with the quarry. So he's going to be wanting defending his home ground, defending his resting place. This is the quarry point they're going to be fighting over. The enemy team of PWDT, they will be defending the boneyard, which is symbolized by 3 bones. I do think if it's called the boneyard, it should have had more bones, but that's just my opinion. This is their point. The first team to reduce the enemy team's points or Nexus health to 0 is the winner. And the only way to do so is, of course, to hold both points and reduce the Nexus HP. So these doors will be opening pretty soon. This last little leg is going to close off here shortly. While we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to quickly turn off the chat, as it isn't actually relevant for me. So that's the chat closed, just as soon as I get rid of that. And the teams will be moving. Rocket jump from Tristan. I mean, she's going to be able to start capturing first. It'll be a minute 1 or 2 second lead in terms of who gets to capture. And we're going to have to see how these teams play out. I can definitely see the polls of Chupacabra playing passively until they hit level 6. Because once they hit level 6, they have got fantastic initiation. Ari taking huge damage already. Poppy moving in. She moves in with the stash. The Ignite may be able to pick up that first blood. With the Potstone heal, it isn't going to be enough. And now Poppy looks like she might be the first one to go down. Ignite is ticking, and it does pick up first blood from the Ignite of Kale. Ari is being chased down by Nunu. Nunu does manage to pick up some damage, and in the background, Anivia is just putting out the damage, the auto attacks and the ice cubes going out. It just wasn't enough though, and that all stemmed from one bad stun. Ari got caught right at the beginning with that stun, took an ice cube to the face, followed up by a frostbite, and losing half your HP and not being able to stay in the fight and use your abilities means that PWDT start really, really strong. They've already got a 25-point lead, and they're going to be able to hold this for a little bit of time because Chupacabra need levels. Chupacabra need to get level 6 before they've really got their burst and can really combo their abilities. A fantastic charm and a double orb of deception onto that Maud really drops his hit points, but the deep freeze from or the frozen frost from Anivia managed to pick up the kill onto Malphite. Jack's going down in the background. Ari's going to be going down shortly as well. As you're not allowed to recall and heal, it does mean that you are stuck behind. And with this advantage, with a single push, 435 points at the moment, it's looking as though PWDT are going to be shut down. For the players that have just asked on Facebook, I can't show chat at the minute, so I will type it on IRC. It's esl.lol.west is where I'm sitting at the moment. You can follow me on facebook.com/quickshot. That's QU1K. Oh, let's have a look there. SH0T. Looking at the team fight though at the minute, Jax finally shuts down Tristana. He gets the bonus gold for the what's the killing spree. Akali is waiting for her cooldown. She's trying to push, but she doesn't have any more leaps. She doesn't have any more shadow dashes to close the gap. And with no energy to combo her abilities, she's not going to be able to really put a huge amount of pressure down. And PWDT look like they're going to shut this game out early. Kayle being forced to fight, being forced to die there because she simply didn't have the hit points to stay back and fight, and doesn't have the ability to, go back and regen as per the rules. 378 to 490, and it's going to take items and levels from Chupacabra to be able to do anything. Jack's almost going down. He does manage to stun 3 champions, land 1 or 2 additional auto attacks before eventually being taken down, but it's just too much damage. And now Maud doesn't even need to fight the enemy team. He's simply using the ghost of Kayle to put that damage down. Ari using her ultimate, she lands a good charm. She gets 3 ticks of her ultimate, dealing good damage. But look at this, Nunu and Maud are just walking away with the hit points, and they don't manage to take them out. As I mentioned earlier, that's a triple kill for Poppy there. Exactly what I pointed out right at the beginning. If Chupacabra don't have focus, and if they don't pick a single target to try sit on and just blow up, they're not going to win those team fights. And not only did they not focus the champions, Maud and Nunu just walked away casually. Nobody tried to close the gap. Nobody used their movement abilities to pick up those low health champions. So really, really well played by PWT at the minute. And Malphite jumping in, hitting that ground slam, managed to slow the attack speed of the enemies and managed to pick up a few kills here. They will finally be able to take back their the courtyard, or the quarry rather. So this will stop the rot. But I think the damage has been done. I think 305 to 477. With all of those deaths, it now means that PWDT can actually buy items. Because remember, they hadn't bought anything yet. Without any deaths on their side of the table, very few of them would have had too many items. So they've been able to spend that gold. They've got a huge advantage, 170 points at the 5-minute mark. This is definitely the strongest start that we've seen so far, and a great orb of deception there from Ari. Managed to pull Poppy out, but just not really having the rest of the team commit to putting that damage down. Tristana rocket jumps extremely aggressively, trying to take out Malphite, and Jax just remains overcommitted. There's that slow that I was talking about. Nunu managing to slow. Poppy was going for the stun, pushed the enemy Ari into the wall, but the ultimate from Kayle managing to let it survive for a few seconds. Another rocket jump from Tristana does mean that they pick up the kill, and that's a team ace, which is going to be the quarry being captured. And now not only do they have this advantage and this, the really, really great team fight potential, they've now got Mark of the Conqueror. They are the Conquerors. 10% damage boost on their spells, their abilities, their auto attacks. PWT have got this. I'm putting money on the table. If anybody else there is a betting man, I bet on behalf of PWDT, and you guys have to take the other team because I think I'm going to win this one. So we're going to see what happens. Malphite manages to hit 3 of them with his ultimate, which is fantastic. Akali is diving in as well. But once again, in the cluster, in the confusion, there's not enough single target focus. They do manage to take out Poppy, but look at the hit points, the health totals of PWDT. They're all being dropped together. They're all being dropped slowly but surely. And it does end up meaning they do pick up 2 kills. Poppy and Maud do go down, but it costs 4 lives for that to happen. Kayle's going to be trying to get that Nunu. Almost take him out. I mean, Nunu got dropped. That must have been single-digit HP. That's sub 20, and you can hear the laugh. That Yeti is having a big giggle. The Yeti knows he was lucky, and he will go down now. This will finally be another death for the Yeti. But keep an eye on these health bars, guys. Take a look how you can just see that even now, you know, there's the focus onto Nunu, yes. But now we need to pick a single target. That was some good focusing on Anivia. The turret is still dealing damage, so they're waiting for Malphite to pull aggro on the turret. He's now going to jump in. Poppy's moved in with her huge burst damage from that on-hit attack of devastating blow, almost single-handedly taking out Akali. Summoner heal needed to be blown to remove that. Jax does manage to pick up a kill onto Poppy at the end of the day there, but taking on a 1v1 Mord that is fed, and with that ultimate ticking, I thought he was going to go down. Kayle does save him with both a heal and with her ultimate intervention. And of course, Divine Blessing, giving that hit points back. So they've slowed it down, you know, 182 to 458. But I think it's too far gone. I think it's near impossible. Charm just flying past Anivia, and look at that damage onto Malphite. Malphite is now caught out behind enemy territory. He's caught behind the wall, and there's just nothing that he can do. Without his ultimate, it's pretty difficult for him to get anywhere. Charm from Ari there, managing to save Jax for a few seconds, but without being able to recall and get hit points back, there's not a lot they can do about that. Akali jumps in. Akali trying to deal some damage down, and Jax doing a fantastic dive. Summoner heal blown to save Tristana's life, but it saved her life, and they managed to kill Jax. Really well played by PWT. This is just non-stop action. I don't have the lung capacity to deal with this. Malphite uses his ultimate, dashes all the way across, sounds like a truck slamming into Tristana, picks up one kill before being focused on by the 3 remaining PWDT players. And does Anivia have Rebirth? Anivia is sitting all, I can't see the cooldown on Rebirth, sadly, in Spectator. I'm not sure why, but if they can kill Anivia now, it will be a true death. She will be like a vampire that finally dies. But her Rebirth is up. Rebirth procs. And not only is Anivia going to come back, she comes back with full hit points. She doesn't have the mana to cast too many abilities, though, but it's not necessary. The rest of her team is cleaning house. Blood Boil on Poppy in combination with the slow from Nunu. Nobody's going to get away from Poppy. Poppy's just going to be landing devastating blow after blow. She's the equivalent of a Yordle dwarf, and she gets away with almost survives. Malphite's Sunfire Cape finally ticks over that last bit of HP, killing Poppy, again giving some hit points, but look at that score. 14, 5, 16 for Poppy. Charm, Orb of Deception, Foxfire, all landing on Tristana, but nobody committed after that. That should have been a dead Tristana and a dead Nunu, but sadly just the lack of faith, it was disturbing. Finally, Nunu goes down. There's going to be a dead Anivia. He doesn't have the egg up and running. Ari is sitting back, reduced healing from the explosive shot from Tristana, so it does mean that it reduced healing for a little bit, but now she's at super low life. Ari's hit ultimate is almost off cooldown, so she'll be able to use it for the next fight. But again, it's just a matter of time. Mordekaiser has built almost pure AP. He's gone Will of the Ancient Source Shoes. He's going to be filling his finishing his Abyssal Scepter shortly, and reducing the magic resist in combination with Anivia, Mord, and Nunu is going to be brilliant. Huge damage and great focus there. It means Mordekaiser goes down, and then they turn their focus to Poppy. So that's what they needed to do. That's what I was talking about, the single target focus, using your spells and abilities to blow up one champion, then the next. The problem is now they're low on health and they're low on mana, so they're nervous about this 3-man PWDT. If Tristana can get in there and start auto-attacking and start tearing them apart, Akali's jumped onto Tristana. The focus is good now. They've turned their attention to one after the other. If Jackson maybe get in there, the Ignite may be enough to kill him. All the while, Anivia was taken down in the background. The dashes from Akali moving up to Nunu. The snowball to the face is going to stop that kill. And here we go. Now, could this be a turnaround? Could this be a 433 to 91 point turnaround? Charm landed, Foxfire landed. Poppy's going to be taking a kill with her ultimate, immune from all damage. It's going to allow Mord and Nunu to get up behind her. But Poppy's ultimate is about to pop, so that's going to be a dead Poppy finally. And in the background, all of the Chupacabra champions are just trying to stay alive, trying to focus these champions. Nunu is able to get away with low life, but they're winning these team fights. They are finally focusing one after the other. They're getting the items that they need to increase their damage. And Chupacabra, they're doing a better showing in these team fights now. They're picking single targets and they're blowing them up. And they really need to keep doing that. They need to do that onto Tristana first. That's their priority target. Tristana needs to go down and needs to go down every single fight. This is going to be a dead Nunu. Misses the charm. Akali didn't want to push further, and I think that was the right move. Orb of Deception landing from Ari, but now she's almost out of mana. So this is going to be difficult if a big fight breaks out. She's not going to be able to use too many abilities, and this is going to be difficult. This is going to be hard for Chupacabra to win. This is some pole-on-pole action, fighting for the pole at the quarry. Let's see if they can keep this up. We have jumped in some viewer numbers, 29 viewers. Thank you for joining, guys. This is the lower bracket final of the all-random, all-bottom Crystal Scar Dominion Cup. And I am Quickshot, your host. Huge damage going down. Great focus onto Poppy, but it's not enough to kill her. They need to continue pushing. They need to keep diving in there, and they can't split up here. Malphite manages to land a fantastic ultimate. You heard that truck landing. That's a dead Tristana, dead Anivia. Poppy does manage to pick up one in return, though, before going down. We're in a 4 versus 3, but Nunu is pretty much dead. Nunu does manage to pick up 1 kill with his snowball. Having built AP, that is going to be enough to be able to at least slow them down. And we're sitting at a 2 versus 1 at the moment. Mordekaiser with the hit points and the sustain and the regen. He's just going to keep pushing. He's just going to keep fighting. A Kayle cannot handle a Mordekaiser 1v1. And a Kayle with low life and no mana is definitely not going to handle Mordekaiser. So it started as a very, very good fight for Chupacabra. They had the advantage. They had a really, really strong showing. But the second PWDT fell back, and Nivea put up that wall and put down that slow. Nunu tossed out those snowballs. They couldn't close it out, and that was the difference maker. What is good for them now, though, Mordekaiser is on low life, and all 5 members of Chupacabra shortly will have full hit points, full mana, and almost all of their cooldowns available. Ignite is coming back up for Jax, so that's going to be enough to help shut down a Mordekaiser who's going to be regenning and life-stealing. But they need to stop this point. They now no longer have control of this point. They've focused out Poppy. The wall from Anivia, unfortunately, getting Poppy locked behind, but with Poppy's ultimate, they cannot focus her. We've got a split here from Chupacabra. Akali was managed to pick up Mordekaiser, picked up the bonus gold from there. The egg has now been popped from Anivia, so they're going to focus this Poppy. They need to kill Poppy, get rid of Poppy. Unfortunately, Poppy has ran away. Anivia dies after being egged and after being focused. Finally, Tristana goes down as well. Ari sitting in the background and super, super low health. They need to recapture this point, and even though they won the team fight, they still lost they lost control of it for 20 seconds, pushing them further behind. Yes, Chupacabra are winning team fights, and they are holding their ground. It has taken time, it's taken items, and it's taken levels. But what you need to remember is they're going to need to do the same against this enemy team. They're going to need to do the same in order to win, and that is a big, big, big ask. So we'll have to see what happens. We're going to have to see how Chupacabra playing this. If they're going to play aggressive or if they're going to try to play defensive, you can see now they're not willing to commit. They're not willing to push, even though they've won the last few team fights. They want to stick together. Nunu, not only does his slow ball snow, not only does his snowball apply as slow, he's also built a Rylai's Crystal Scepter. So it's going to be slowing even more effectively. So bit of poke going down. Tristana using her range to her ability. With each level she gains additional auto attack range, and sitting with her items at the moment, Tristana has a Sanguine Blade, Prospectus Blade, and the armor penetration, so no attack speed just yet, but she can use her Q, which is rapid fire, increases her attack speed by 90%, puts it to 2.1, nearly at the max. Passive at the minute. Teams are scared. Brilliant ultimate from Malphite, managing to land 3. Jax dives in, but the focus on Ari means that it gets turned around instantly and she gets blown up. Akali is focusing Tristana. Akali's going to try take out Tristana, but with her summoner heal and the buster shot, manages to get Akali off of her long enough to survive. Tristana is effectively out of this fight, though. Jax is going to be pushing. That's going to be Jax taking out Malphite, or at least Mordekaiser going down. Tristana sitting in the background and just using her auto attacks and her range to continually hammer away on the enemy team. And even with low life, even with a sliver of life, that auto attack range and that auto attack speed just means she can stay back. Now that's something that I've noticed in the games that I've watched so far. The very first game that Chupacabra won, they won because they had 2 attack damage carries. The game that we just watched with Double Trouble, the reason that they ended up winning was because of the attack damage carry in the form of Misfortune. Being able to sit back, being able to hang back and just deal those massive crits. And those massive crits often, I mean, you got to remember, these guys are attacking twice per second, landing 600 to 800 damage critical hits. That is going to melt and tear anybody apart. So having no attack damage carry, it's very scary. But the flip side, if they can blow up that Tristana, jump onto her, use everything to kill her, they might be able to turn these fights around. You know, might be able to actually start winning this. 73 to 405 is the score at the minute. Have a quick look at our goal tabs. Having a look on the team of Chupacabra. 9-6, 9-5, 9-2, 9-6, 9-5, completely even across the board. Having a look at the team of the Polish Wet Dream Team, PWDT. 9-4, 10,000, 9-8, 9-9, 10,000. So around 1,000 gold head extra, but that is complement of all the kills. Akali has jumped in with the ultimate from Kayle, and Malphite landing a fantastic knock-up, hitting 4 players. But once the ultimate from Kayle expires, Akali just gets melted in and amongst the damage. They have, however, killed Tristana, and they have killed Anivia. Jax has picked up a double kill now. Poppy's ultimate's not going to be enough to let them get away. And as I mentioned, she targeted Malphite with her ultimate. So even though Malphite can't kill her, his seismic shards are enough to slow her down and keep her in position. And all of a sudden, we lose Akali for an ace. They are going to be able to catch the Boneyard, and I believe this will be the first time that Chupacabra have been trying to steal the goats of PWDT. So we are finally in control of this point. We'll be able to start ticking back a few points, and they're managing to hold control of it. Akali is coming with full health, and for the most part, the team's not looking too beaten. Kayle will be able to start healing this up with the Divine Blessing, but it is in a fairly high cooldown, 15 seconds between heals. It's not really going to be enough to save her per se, but yeah, they're not willing to fight this. Chupacabra falling back. It's difficult to say if it's the right decision, because I don't know how it would have affected, you know, the game if they decided to stay behind and fight. But maybe what they're doing is they're waiting for their cooldowns. You know, they're waiting for Unstoppable Force from Ultimate. Unstoppable Force from Ultimate. Unstoppable Force from Malphite, so that they can commit, so they can get that CC, get that knock-up. You know, you combine that with the counter-attack, counter-strike dodge of Jax, and you've got, you know, 3, 4, 5 members of PWT completely locked up. But huge burst damage. They're completely removing half of Jax's HP before the fight has even begun. And this is where Chupacabra are going to suffer. They don't have the ranged poke. They don't have that stun from Anivia. They don't have the range of Tristana. And it's going to be difficult for them. It looks like Malphite wants to fight, though. He's moving forward. He's taking a couple of hits from Tristana. And once again, they're just losing this life. Now, PWT have committed. They've jumped in for this fight. Not too bad from Malphite, managing to catch 2. And exactly like I mentioned, the focus onto Tristana. Unfortunately, though, the poles of PWT have taken on Uri in the background. And Poppy is just completely cleaning house. The half-health team of Chupacabra simply was not enough to survive the damage once they had jumped in. The problem you have with focusing a single target, especially a single target like Tristana who has range, you need to get through the wall. You need to get through Anivia, Mordekaiser, Nunu, Anivia, Poppy as well. And once you jump past those 4 champions, they just focus you and free damage you, because, you know, your focus is on another champion. We will probably be able to pick up a kill here onto this Poppy. She does go down to Uri finally, continuing the chase. Kayle manages to finish off Nunu, but look at the damage that's been returned. This is a 5v4 fight at the minute, and Akali is cleaned up in the end of it. Anivia gets egged. This will be a dead Anivia. Uri does get the kill credit for that, and I think she needs it. You know, 7, 11, 30. 30 assists. Saying that, look at Nunu. 47 assists on Nunu sitting in the bottom lane. Kayle trying to 1v1 Tristana. It was a bad choice. It wasn't going to work. So I don't quite know why we're doing that. And now we're at do or die time. All right, do or die for Chupacabra, the Polish team who has made it through to the lower bracket final in the all-random, all-bottom Dominion Cup. If they lose this point one more time, it will be good game. No charm coming out from Uri. The charm could have caught Nunu. Nunu has built fairly tanky. I mean, look at that. Randian's Omen. He's got the hit points from Rylai's, and of course he's got Aegis of the Legion. So really, really looking to help his team get that advantage, increase the resistances and their attack damage, etc. But this next lost team fight is going to be GG. Anivia dealing some damage. Malphite committing, only managing to catch Mordekaiser, and the Anivia wall absolutely fantastic. Nunu slowing down the entire team, managing to catch Uri with that last tick of the ultimate. I don't think it caught too many more people, and I think this is going to be a good game. Kayle goes down, and that's going to be a clean team ace, not losing a single champion, and I don't think they're going to be able to pull this back. It looked like a surrender there, vote coming in, so GG. Well played to PWD, and congratulations on the victory. They will be facing off against Double Trouble in the grand final of the, let me see if I can get this right, all random, all bottom, Crystal Scar Dominion ESL Cup. Congratulations to those guys. To the 30 viewers who have joined, hey, what's up, guys? I am Quickshot. I am South African. Thank you for joining. Thank you for spectating. I can see on my IRC that the grand final game has already been created. So I'm going to connect to it. I have to keep the camera up right now because I don't